This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, February 16th, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Google says it's been working alongside other big tech companies to fight Russian cyberattackers waging a digital war against Ukraine. Ryan Lovelace reports the tech titan published a fog of war report saying the Ukrainian government is under near constant digital attack from Russia, including via its military intelligence service. Google said it disrupted government-backed attackers to protect people from exploitation and notified users of products such as Gmail that they had been targeted when the company deemed it appropriate. The U.S. government is among those teaming with tech companies to benefit Ukraine, which continues to resist Russian forces. Russia's abysmal battlefield record in its war is calling into question the effectiveness of post-Soviet military reforms intended to modernize their army. Mike Glenn reports the military balance audit of the world's armed forces, issued annually by the London-based International Institute for Strategic Studies, estimated that Russia has lost 40% of its tank fleet since invading Ukraine last February. The organization says the war has been a military and political failure for the Kremlin. Russia's initial campaign in Ukraine was marked by overconfidence in its military ability and a crucial misjudgment of its opponent. Florida won't be alone if it adopts non-unanimous jury verdicts in death penalty cases, but it would be the biggest outlier of states that have capital punishment. Of the 27 states that have the death penalty, Alex Sawyer reports only 3 do not require a unanimous verdict. In Missouri and Indiana, a judge can make the decision if a jury can't reach unanimity. And in Alabama, a 10-2 jury can hand down a death sentence. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and state lawmakers have moved to allow a death sentence if at least 8 of the 12 jurors agree. The legislation was introduced in the wake of the 9-3 jury vote on the death penalty for the mass shooter at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. The Interior Department's Fish and Wildlife Service is offering eco-grief training to employees who are struggling with a sense of trauma as they witness a changing environment. Stephen Dinan reports the class will give staffers a chance to define what they mean by ecological grief, space to examine their emotional reactions, and tools to grapple with those feelings. The workshop is being offered twice to employees in the Southwest, which covers Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. The agency didn't clarify questions about cost or whether regions beside the Southwest were offering similar training. And finally, activists have mobilized after Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid confirm they plan to fill prescriptions for a 2-drug abortion regimen. This week, Valerie Richardson reports activists rallied outside Walgreens headquarters in Illinois against the pill. They're responding to the Food and Drug Administration's January 3rd finalization of a rule that lets retail pharmacies dispense the pills in stores and via mail. Pro-choice advocates argue that medication abortion has been used for 22 years and has proved to be safer than over-the-counter drugs, such as Tylenol. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.